Rest in peace to Luis Gustavo Nunez, Gerardo Lunis Campos, Victoria Manuel Diaz, Alex Peretti, Party Law, Luis Beltran Yanes Cruz, Renee Good, Herbert Sanchez Dominguez, and Keith Porter Jr. These are 9 lives that were taken by ICE this month in January 2026 alone, and these are their stories. Usually on this channel, I just turn the camera on and do a one-take yap sesh that's unscripted and press post. I actually put more effort to write out what I want to say, and there will be my sources cited in the description. One trend that you're going to notice is that a lot of these people are dying in care in detention centers or healthcare units, and their deaths are ruled a suicide. It's a horrible thing. I'm not going to get into conspiracy theories, but at least 40 people have died in this one healthcare unit from in El Paso in 2025 alone, and 2 of the people that we are going to talk about in this died there. So Party Law, he was 46 years old and he died January 9th in custody. It's stated that he began to experience fentanyl withdrawal syndromes and that officers tried treating it with Narcan. However, he was found in a cell unresponsive later. His family is saying that it doesn't make sense, and they're fighting for justice, saying that it was negligence to try to treat him with Narcan whenever he was facing opioid withdrawals. There was not a lot of coverage on this story, so it's just ICE versus the family's word. No other coverage. Luis Beltran Yanes Cruz was a 68-year-old Honduran, and he died January 6th. He was detained and then taken to the hospital for issues with breathing. However, he passed away at 1 a.m. that morning. Herbert Sanchez Dominguez, he died January 15th. He was 34 years old and was arrested for driving without a license. There's no statement from the DHS, however, they did confirm his death. He was found hanging in his cell 6 days into custody at 2:05 in the morning. He was waiting to get deported to Mexico. The circumstances revolving his death are very mysterious, and change.org has a petition that you can go look at to launch an individual investigation into his death and to find if there is any foul play or negligence and abuse to him. Luis Gustavo Nunez, he was a 42-year-old Honduran citizen. He died in an ICE-owned healthcare clinic where he was sent to weeks earlier due to complications related to heart failure. At least 40 other migrants have died at the same healthcare unit, as I mentioned. Gerardo Lunis Campos, he was a 55-year-old Cuban immigrant who died due to medical complications. However, it was changed due to suicide. The medical examiner says that he died from not being able to breathe because of pressure on his neck and chest. He died at the same healthcare unit as Luis Gustavo Nunez did. Victor Manuel Diaz, he was a Nicaraguan immigrant and 36 years old. He died on January 14th. He was found laying unresponsive and it was ruled a suicide. The El Paso Medical Center actually has no record of the death, referring any questions to ICE itself. His family says that he would not have killed himself and that he actually came to America for a better life and to support his mom. That's it for the people that died in custody and under mysterious circumstances with limited information. Most recently, Alex Peretti, he was a ICU nurse for Veterans Affairs. He was trained to handle crisis and to handle tough situations, which ICE agents are not trained to do at all. He saw a older lady being harassed by ICE, and he came to defend her simply by blocking her with her body, and he was pushed to the floor and sworn by 8 ICE officers before they shot him in the back 11 times. Yes, he had a gun on him. No, he was not using the gun. He was not equipped, like in his hand. He was not threatening them with it. He was disarmed before he was shot. Christy Noam said that he approached them with a 9mm and they tried disarming him, yet he resisted violently. And that's whenever they had to take defensive shots. 11 defensive shots for a man whose weapon was concealed on his body is insane. It's horrible. And the assassination of his character by saying that he came to do maximum damage because he didn't have an ID and he had 2 rounds of magazines. This is essentially taking away our Second Amendment. Following the trend of Second Amendment deaths, Keith Porter Jr., he was an American citizen and a father of 2. He was shot and killed outside of his apartment on New Year's Eve. His family says that he was firing the shots in the air to celebrate the new year. However, there was a ICE agent off duty who said that he had to return fire defensively. And Keith Porter Jr., he died by an off-duty ICE officer simply for shooting bullets into the air. The LAPD put out a statement that said that is a arrestable offense at most. However, the ICE officer decided to give him a death sentence. Rest in peace to Keith Porter Jr. I know this one wasn't talked about as much as Renee Good or Alex Peretti. I'm sure Keith Porter being an African American has nothing to do with that, and the other 2 being white has nothing to do with that, but I digress. This isn't about that. And finally, the one that sparked a ginormous outrage, Renee Good. She was 37 years old, an American citizen. She was a mother of 3. She was simply an observer to an ICE conversation. She was receiving conflicting demands, saying leave, get out of the car. She was threatened, she was anxious, and as she tried turning away to leave, an agent shot into her car 4 times, one striking her in the face, one piercing her in the chest, another grazing her, and I believe the 3rd bullet hit her shoulder. That's all I have written. Rest in peace to all of those people. This was all in January alone, and if you go back and look at the death toll from 2025, it was actually the most deadly year for in immigration enforcement in 2 decades, 3 decades even. It's, I don't know, it's a second to breathe. It's a violation of our rights. They're testing all of us. They don't want us to rise up. Rest in peace to these 9 people. But I guess I want to end this video with a question. We've seen that now ICE agents are breaking down people's doors, and ICE agents can go into your home without a warrant, and if you get pulled over, they are taking your IDs and making sure that you aren't illegal. There's even another memo from Christy Noam saying that if anyone is recording ICE officers, you need to take a photo of them and put them in the anti-American database, the domestic terrorist database. And so my main question is, whenever ICE agents come into our house and an innocent life dies, someone dies because their house is invaded by ICE, what are we gonna do then? Whenever they try to spin it that they can come into our homes and we can't shoot and defend ourselves, that a person dying in their homes for defending their homes because of ICE is bad and illegal, and that makes us domestic terrorists, what are we gonna do now? That's where I'd like to end it. Sorry.